Hey there, crafty darlings! Welcome to my channel. Are you looking for some patriotic craft ideas to sell? Well, you're in the right place. In this episode, I will be sharing 20 rustic farmhouse patriotic crafts that you can make and sell for a profit. From decorative items to functional pieces, these ideas are perfect for entrepreneurs and crafters alike. And let's dive in. I'm using large glass jar, nice washed and clean. I'm gonna cover it with a truffle chalk paint. I only give it a one good coat because I'm gonna add a different coat on it. I'm gonna be using the famous Crackle effect that I've been using it lately, and I love that rustic vibe on it. So now I'm gonna give it a one good coat with this Crackle medium, and I'm going slowly with my brush, just adding one brush stroke until my whole jar is covered. And let's talk about the rustic farmhouse style. This aesthetic is all about embracing a cozy country feel with a touch of vintage charm. Think distressed wood, galvanized metal, and plenty of red, white, and blue. I will be sharing plenty of tips and tricks to help you get started. Now that my jar is covered with this Crackle medium and dry, I'm gonna be covering it with another chalk paint in a color of French linen, I believe, and I'm giving a one good brush stroke. I don't want to overlap it. I'm just doing it line by line until my whole jar is covered with this paint. And slowly, as you can see, as I'm adding this paint, the crackle effect is in a way of process while it's drying. And jars like this are sellouts in any crafting show, and lovers for farmhouse rustic vintage decor, and it's a perfect inexpensive idea for you to make. Now that the jar is all covered and dry, look at all this crackle effect on it. I really love how it came out. You can always use the crackle effect with the Elmer's school glue, or you can use this Crackle medium from Folk Art. Now I'm gonna be adding some embellishment. I like these window clinks from Dollar Tree. I've been having them for ages in my crafting stash, and I love them because they don't have that glossy look. They have that matte finish. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna add a Mod Podge and add it on the jar. I'm also going to seal it with a matte finish Mod Podge on top so it can be nice, sturdy, and ready to be sell out. And after that, we're gonna be adding some more embellishments to this jar. I love these beaded garlands from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna be using part of those beads and adding that on top of the jar with the tassel. So after I got the look that I like, I cut off the twine and removed the rest of the beads, and I'm cutting off the tassel just to make it more nice with the ducktails on the ribbon, and cutting off the twine to be on the same level. I'm also gonna be sealing my jar with a clear DIY wax and adding some greeneries, patriotic greeneries, and flags from Dollar Tree that I stain with antique wax to make them look rustic. And that's it for this creation. I am super excited that I'm a part of these crafts and DIY ideas to sell and make profit collab with my darling friend Jackie from Crafting in Mimi's World. Her video and her channel are pinned in my comments, so please check her out if you haven't by now, because she's amazing and I love her, and show her lots of love. I'm gonna be using this large can. I cut off the top and the bottom, as you can see, and now I'm gonna turn this into a pocket. I'm trying to flatten the bottom part slowly with my hands as much as I can. And now that I got the shape that I like, I grab my pliers, and with that I'm going over to connect the one side with the other side together and flatten them out. And at the end I grab the hammer, and now slowly I'm going over the edges and connecting the both sides together, make them nice and flat. Now that I got the look that I like on my pocket, I'm gonna be pinching a hole with my tool, and one on each corner so we can add hanger to it, and we can make it nice, rustic and beautiful and perfect for sale. To get that rustic patina vintage look, I'm gonna be using this patina paint from Dixie Belle in a color of iron. I'm gonna cover it with one coat. I'm gonna let it dry. When the first coat is dry, I'm going over with the second coat and with a sponge brush and covering both sides of my galvanized pocket. While it's wet, I'm gonna be adding the patina spray in color green. When you mix the patina spray and patina paint together, it creates a fun and unique fall metal effect that adds character and transform your pieces into rustic vintage look. Now that I spray both sides of my pocket, I'm gonna let it dry for a few hours, and after that we can add some embellishments. After it's nice and dry, this is the look that we're gonna get, the nice worn out rustic crusty look to our pocket. And now it's ready to add some embellishments. I'm gonna be using this linen fabric that previously I stained with a filtered coffee to get that vintage look. On top, I'm gonna be adding this ribbon transfer from Dixie Belle. This is the new Patriotic collection. And I'm gonna apply this eagle with the stars. With the scraper, I'm going over until the whole transfer is on the fabric. And smooth as it is, I'm just burnish it with a header sheet that it came with. And now with my zigzag scissors, I'm cutting off my fabric just enough to fit in front of my pocket. With just a little bit of glue, I'm adding the fabric and gluing it on the pocket. To give more details, I grabbed those golden push pins from Dollar Tree. I'm cutting off the needles because the pocket is metal and we cannot add the needles. I need 4 of them for each corner. So after I cut off the needle, I'm gonna be gluing them on the corners. As a handle, I'm using a couple of pieces of twine that I put together, and I'm gonna tie them in front of the holes that earlier we punched. And with this we have an extra embellishment with a rustic vintage look to it. I'm filling out the pocket with the greeneries and leaves and berries. You can add any kind of flowers as you want, and it's gonna be a perfect attraction for your customer, and it will be sold out within minutes. Here is another idea. I got this wooden frame in my stash. I'm just sanding the edges because there is some wood pieces coming out of it and making sure it's all nice and smooth. And I'm gonna be adding this chicken wire, so I'm just going over the frame and see how much of this chicken wire I need. So I'm cutting off with the scissors. You gotta be extra careful when you're using wires like this to not cut yourself. And after I cut it off, before I add it to my frame, I'm gonna be adding the same rustic patina look as I added on my pocket, so we can get that worn out look for my frame. After I spray it off with the green patina spray, I'm gonna let it dry, and when it's dry, it's ready to be added to my frame. I'm using my staple gun to add this chicken wire and make it nice, sturdy, and smooth around the edges on the frame. I know it's hard to see it through the camera, but the look that this wire came out, the patina look, it looks just perfect, and it matched with the sign that I'm gonna be adding in the middle. I got those signs from Temu. They're so beautiful, and I decided to go with the star, and I'm gonna be adding a twine on top of the sign and on the bottom. I tie it with the twine on the back part, and with the top part that I added the twine, the same thing, I'm creating a handle so this art piece can be hanged on the wall. I'm also making a 2-loop simple bow with this vintage American flag ribbon that I also got from Temu. What a beautiful and good quality are those. I love them. I'm gonna cut off the edges as a ducktail, and then I'm gonna glue it in the middle part of my frame. For the next idea, I'm gonna be working on this large cap metal sign that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and after I remove the price tag, I'm adding wet towels and leaving it for like half an hour to remove this sign. Then with a scraper, I'm going over until the whole paper is removed out of this sign. I removed the whole paper, I went under the water and washed it off and let it dry, and now that it's dry and nice and smooth, I'm gonna be covering it with I believe this is cream chalk paint, just the top part of the cap, because I really like how the frame look around the cap, that metal look with the handle metal. I need just front part to be covered with the paint. After a good 2-3 coats with this paint, I'm sanding it with my sponge block so can make it nice and smooth. And it's time to add these beautiful ribbon transfers from Dixie Belle new collection. I'm gonna be adding this eagle, God bless America. What a beautiful look. I'm just gonna cut off the eagle, and with the scraper I'm adding it to my sign. For those of you who never work with the ribbon transfers, you should try it. It's so easy. As soon as you see the header sheet is releasing, you know that the transfer is on your surface, and slowly you're going all over the edges until the fully transfer is added to your surface, and you're gonna have a perfect, unique, beautiful look ready to be sold. Also, for extra embellishment, I'm adding one of those stars from the Dollar Tree window clings. I'm adding a Mod Podge and adding it on the bottom of my sign just for extra embellishments. Also, beside this star, I'm gonna be adding 2 more stars from the ribbon transfers, and that's it. I'm not gonna add anything else. I have also sealed my sign with a matte finish Mod Podge, and that's it for this look. Have you seen those bells at Dollar Tree? I think they're very, very pretty. I'm gonna turn them into a beautiful patriotic look. I'm gonna cover them with the truffle paint and I'm gonna let them dry. And now on top of it, on my handles, I'm gonna be adding 2 beads, white and red and white and blue, just to make them look very patriotic and beautiful. If you've been to a high-end stores, bells are very popular these days and can be a bit pricey, but you can sell them for less in your crafting store just with adding embellishments like this, and can be a perfect detail for your farmhouse decor. Now that I add my beads on top of the handles, I'm gonna be adding more of those Dixie Belle patriotic transfers, and I'm gonna be adding one design on one bell, and then I'm gonna be adding American flag on my second bell, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna distress them and seal them with a white DIY wax to give that more rustic look. I'm also sanding them with the sanding block to make them more worn out, rustic, and our bells are ready to be set up as our showcase in our crafting booth. Another idea is with this wooden plank that I stained with the weathered DIY paint, and after I let it dry, I'm adding more ribbon transfers with this American flag, and I'm gonna add it on top of my sign, and with the scraper I'm gonna transfer it on my plank, and after that I'm gonna burnish it, and we're gonna add some USA transfers as well on the bottom to make it complete and beautiful with this patriotic vibe. And also I'm gonna be adding stars beside the USA, but then I changed my mind. I'm gonna be adding 3D stars on top of them for extra 3D effect on this sign, and I think it looks so beautiful, farmhouse, rustic, just perfect. Now that I add my transfers, I'm gonna seal them with a matte finish Mod Podge before we go with more embellishments. As an embellishment, I'm gonna be adding this tag that I got in my stash from Dollar Tree. In the middle part, it comes with this bell. I'm gonna remove the bell. I'm also sanding that Christmas paint that it's on this tag, and then I'm gonna paint it with linen paint just to cover where it was that Christmas detail on it. And now in the opening part on this tag, I'm gonna be adding one of those wooden star cutouts in the color blue, and we're gonna have a perfect new farmhouse patriotic tag for our sign, and it matched just perfect. I'm also adding this bow that it came with this tag, and now I'm adding those 3D stars when we added those ribbon transfers before, red, white and blue stars, and I think it looks just perfect like this. I'm gonna staple it on the back part of the sign, the tag, and also I'm gonna be adding handles, twine handles, also to make them sturdy. I'm gonna add the staple with my staple gun, and that's it with this look. You gotta let me know, what do you think about this one? Those wagon wheels are so much fun. They came as a 3 set, large, medium and small. I got them from Temu, and they're such a beautiful look, especially with adding those signs in the middle that I also got from Temu. I'm gonna be adding some wood glue in the middle part so I can glue my sign, and you can leave it like it is. I love it because those wagon wheel, they came stained, and you don't need to do anything else. You just add this beautiful American eagle with a flag, and also I made 4-loop bow with this beautiful ribbon, and I'm gonna tie the twine on the back of my wagon wheel, and that's it. Super quick and easy and beautiful craft. In the middle part of my bow, I added one of those 3D stars in color red and white. As you can see, I'm just layering them, and that's it. Not even 5 minutes and you have a perfect craft decor. For the second wheel, I'm gonna be adding one of those laser wood cutouts from Dollar Tree. I'm just adding a glue, and I'm gonna add it on top of the wheel wagon. I wanted to show you this beautiful ribbon that is reversible. Inside there is with the red stripes, and outside is with this blue with white stripes, and you can play around with that. You can even make a bow with the stripes or with the blue stars, or you can mix it like I make it. I made 2 loops with the stripes and 2 loops with the stars, and it looks just beautiful. I'm gonna tie it on top of my wheel. In the middle part, I added some stars, and here you go for my medium wagon wheel, and it's perfect and ready to be sold. For my smallest one, I'm gonna be adding those Dollar Tree caps. Have you seen those vintage caps that Dollar Tree is selling? They're just perfect for our rustic farmhouse theme. It comes with a twine handle, and what I did for this one, because there is a cap, I just wrapped the twine around the wheel, and I'm gonna glue it on the back part. I also made a 2 simple bow, and I made a handle with the same twine that I added the bow. I cut off the edges as a ducktail, and now around the frame of this wheel, I'm gonna be adding those 3D stars all over the frame, and we're gonna have a perfect farmhouse patriotic look for it. My next few crafts are super quick and simple and easy. They're Dollar Tree crafts. I got those galvanized stars. I removed the glitter just with the sanding it with my sanding block, and it was perfect. I also stained the galvanized star with the antique wax and the weathered wood DIY paint. I'm also adding more 3D wood stars around it, and it's just a perfect detail for your decor and ready to be sold. For the second star, I got another galvanized wooden star. I also stained the galvanized part with a weathered wood DIY, and now for the middle part, I'm adding one more of those window cling star, and it perfect match with the middle part. I seal it with a Mod Podge, and that's it. Not even 5 minutes and you have a brand new look for those 2 stars. And here is another porcelain tag star, and I'm just adding one of those transfers from Dixie Belle Ravon transfers leftover. I'm adding the American flag, and that's it. Not even 1 minute and you have a new makeover on this porcelain tag star, and it's a perfect detail for your decorations. I got this tabletop star from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna paint it over with these 3 paints. I'm using a navy Dixie Belle, and this is a burgundy or a wine, and a white paint, and I'm covering it all and giving it that rustic farmhouse look to my tabletop as well. After I paint them over, I'm adding more of those 3D stars that I got, and I'm gonna glue them over my stripes and my star. And also I'm making this sign reversible. On the back part I painted with a navy paint, and on this part I'm adding white stripes to it. And that's it. Quick and easy but beautiful vintage look. Vintage stars are very popular these days as well as a part of your Americana patriotic look, and we're gonna make ours with fabrics from Dollar Tree. I grabbed those burlap fabrics, and with adding those stars on them, I'm just adding a glue, and I'm gonna add them on top of the fabric, and then I'm gonna go over around the edges of my star, and I'm going around the edges with the scissors and cutting them off just like that. It was easiest part like that, to glue the star on the fabric and then cut it off, and you're gonna have them covered with this fabric. I'm repeating the same step on the back part on the foam star, adding the glue and adding it on top of the fabric and cutting off the edges. And now to remove the fuzzies from the glue, I'm just slowly doing it with a lighter. You gotta be extra careful because the star inside part is the foam, so you don't want to damage that. And repeating the same way with the other two stars that I had. I added a red burlap fabric and a navy burlap fabric on the other star, and look how beautiful they look. Such a perfect decorative detail. I found these frames and they remind me of the American patriotic decor. So what I'm gonna do, I am using these patriotic scarves that I got in my stash for over a couple of years. And I'm just gonna cut off just enough to fit inside of my glass frame. I'm adding one portion for the inside part, one design on one frame and another design to another frame. And those frames can look so beautiful with all these beautiful patriotic colors. And on top of the glass, on one of my frame, I will be adding this America the Beautiful, this ribbon transfer from Dixie Belle, and I'm just gonna transfer it with this scraper. After that, I'm gonna burnish it and put the glass back to the frame, and we have a quick and easy hack and ready to be sell out. What do you think about this one? On the second one, I just add the scarf. I didn't want it to add anything, just enough colors for those two, and beautiful. Those large bows can be a bit pricey at the high-end stores, and we can make our own just for a few dollars. I'm using my rustic ribbon and rolling it until I got the large loops to it. And as you can see, it's so easy to work with this ribbon. I'm just going over a couple of times, and this is the easiest way to make a perfect bow. And then in the middle, I'm just gonna pinch it. I'm leaving tails as well, and then I'm gonna tie it with the twine in the middle part, and then we're gonna open up the loops, and you're gonna have a perfect large bow that you can sell for a couple of dollars. And with making this beautiful farmhouse DIY project, it will celebrate the American pride, and it can create a beautiful farmhouse decor for your home. So I made total of, I believe, 7 loops, and I'm just gonna be opening one across the other one until I got the look that I like. And I want to make sure all the loops are equal because I never measured. I'm just doing it by my eye. And in the middle part also, I'm making a small loop, and I'm gonna tie it just to make my bow more high-end. And that's it. You can make tons of these bows and sell them out and make a good profit out of them. And patriotic decor doesn't need to be just for a specific 4th of July or Memorial Day. You can have this patriotic look throughout the whole year to show your American spirit. Nothing better than that, right? I'm cutting off the ducktails and our bow is finished. Those two outdoor LED lanterns are perfect. They're from Dollar Tree and they're gonna be perfect for a patriotic farmhouse decor. I'm gonna remove the top part of them, and before that I'm gonna be adding some glue on those handles because they're so easy to be removed, and to make them more sturdy I just added a glue. For the inside part I'm adding these white stones from Dollar Tree, and when that light glows inside of this lantern it looks just perfect. You can also add some greeneries inside. It's gonna look beautiful as well, but I just wanted to leave those plain and simple. And for the front part I just made it those two mini bows and I'm gonna glue them, and that's it for this quick and easy hack. And here is the final reveal and the look how you can showcase them in your booth or in your crafting show. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found some inspiration for your next craft project. And remember, with a little creativity and some elbow grease, you can turn your DIY skills into profitable business. Jackie, thank you so much for inviting me to this amazing adventure collab. I love you, my girl, and my darlings, don't forget to check her video and show her lots of love. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more crafty content. And treat others just as you want to be treated. Until next time, lots of blessings from C and family. Bye-bye!